This is the Dark Valley via GMT Games. This is the East Front campaign 1941 to 1945. And this is the situation at the end of February 1943. Small amounts of activity going on in the Sebastopol area. German siege artillery blew up the outer forts. They would have been in a position to attack, but fortunately Germans have been forced on the retreat, so they've had to use most of their move attack again as move, which is limiting their ability to respond to the Soviets. Soviet counter-offensive in the Don Basin here, across the river in force to the north, and forced the Germans way back from Stalingrad now. And Germans falling back to river lines here to try and stabilise the front. There's a lot of Soviet mechanised and armoured units concentrating in that area. Soviet attempted offensive in the north along here's Rip. It's pretty much run into heavy German resistance there, so the Soviets are almost certainly going to switch their attack to Kharkov or Kursk, try and get a temporary superiority in that area. Now push, if they can push down here, maybe make a breakthrough there, that would force the entire German army in the eastern Ukraine to retreat, which would be a significant victory if they could do it. Situation coming up is it's mud again now. The Soviets still have the initiative. Germans struggling through lack of replacements. Not sure what sort of reinforcements they'll be getting this term. Yeah, again, a lot of weak divisions. There'll be a panzer conversion here, and they'll lose a panzer unit that will be withdrawn. That panzer conversion will simply replace something that's already been removed, so they're not going to get anything for that. Soviets are going to get a huge number of upgraded units. Some of these big Soviet infantry armies here are massively powerful, and there's Soviet tank armies which are hugely powerful as well. Unfortunately for the Soviets, even with Lend-Lease, they haven't got enough reinforcements to start building serious army units like this. Germans, let's have a look at incoming chits. Anything epic? March. Yeah, the Germans lose their move and attack chits to become a move and attack only chit. They lose their divisional chit as well. We've still got Manstein that they could use, but you can only use that twice in a year. That's really for desperation stuff. Soviets have got their Stavka chit, their move chit, but they lose all their deep battle chits and their Zhukov Stavka combat chits. So that should slow things down for March, April 43. There's not going to be a lot of chits in the cup. The rest of the front, apart from this area in the Ukraine, has been fairly quiet. The thing about the Ukraine is the territory is so conducive to mechanized warfare in the Second World War period. German air units, they've still got the 3 air units, which is definite superiority over the Soviet Air Force, which has 8 Soviet air assets, but air assets are much less useful. One thing the Soviets do have is they have 3 artillery armies which can do a lot of damage to adjacent units. So all in all, tide is, as I say, it's continuing to turn in the Russians' favour, especially where they've got this 1d6 plus 3 Lend-Lease thing adding to their 20 reinforcement factors, replacement factors. Now the Germans can keep, it's not such a problem this coming month, but to keep away from all these Soviet attack jets is if you just keep withdrawing a small number of hexes, it prevents the Soviets. The Soviets have to get close. They've got one movement chit to get close, which they'll use for their initiative chit pull, and then they'll be depending on these multiple combat chits to do the damage, but that isn't going to happen for this upcoming month. So because they've lost all their combat chits, so I would say things are going to get fairly quiet for a couple of months.